So you're thinking about moving to the Tampa Bay area and you're considering Clearwater as an option. Well, today, Jason and I are going to be going over the pros and the cons, the good and the bad of living here in Clearwater, Florida. And we want to share some important information, so you're going to want to stick around, and we're going to get started right now. My name is Amy, and Jason and I, we get phone calls from people just like you looking for help to move to the Tampa Bay area every single day, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, shoot us a text, send us an email, give us a call, and we'll be happy to help you with your smooth transition here to Tampa Bay, Florida.
If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything that's going on here in the Tampa Bay area as well as the surrounding cities, hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about everything going on here in the real estate market in Tampa Bay. So we're coming to you from another little park right off of the beach, and we thought it would be nice to just finish off the Clearwater pros and cons from another little park right off the beach. And so if you can see in between here, I think hopefully you can see the beach just over our shoulders, and it's the Gulf
of Mexico.
So yeah, so here we go.
Let's just start off with the beach, because we're at the beach, so we might as well just cover it while we're here, right? Clearwater Beach is ranked as one of the top beaches in America almost every year. I mean, it's in the top 5.
People love to, go there because of, the amenities and everything that the beach has to offer, and that is one of the best.
Yeah, you've got 5-star resorts. You have, beautiful hotels and restaurants and wonderful live entertainment and music, boat cruises you can go on. You can rent boats, you can go parasailing, there's just so much. So being close to the beach is definitely a top pro of being in the Clearwater area. Anywhere you live in Clearwater, you're going to be able to get to the beach in under 45 minutes with no traffic. Maybe with traffic, I don't know. Definitely, you're going to be able to be close to this beautiful, amazing beach with all of these opportunities for entertainment and recreation. They host festivals there. Every night on the Pier, they do what's called Sunset at the Pier, and that's where live street performers come and, have shows and music. And then there's also local artisans that come and they sell their handmade goods on the Pier. It's a really cool place to visit.
It's always a good time down there, and there's always live entertainment, and it's like living on a vacation. You've been on vacation the whole time, and the great thing about that is you're minutes from the beach, whether you're in inland a little bit in the city or right on the beach. You'll see a lot of people. That's one of the most heavily traveled beaches, that and St. Pete Beach. Definitely a tourist hotspot, but a lot of times you can go several months out of the year and there's not a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what time of year you go and what time of day even. Like when school goes back in session, everything calms down, just like it does everywhere else. And so that's a great time to head up to the beach and go to a restaurant. Yeah.
Now, one thing I would like to mention about the beaches is there is a secret spot. Some people might know about this. If you do, mention it down in the comments. And we'll put a link to it in the description. But there's a beach that you can drive on there in Clearwater. You can take your vehicle out to the beach, drive on the beach, and you're right next to the water. She did not like driving, and I don't blame you, because the waves are sort of coming in, and we were driving our Honda van off-roading on the beach. So it wasn't, you got to have probably a Jeep or 4x4. But
it did have a lot of Jeeps when we were there. There were a lot of Jeeps.
But it, definitely you can park your car and set up camp and, spend the day on the beach, which is pretty awesome. And then across the way from that, which is by the sailing area, what beach is that?
It's called Sand Key Park.
Thank you, Sand Key Park. So that park and that beach is phenomenal. Probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's more of like, so it's a park. So I don't know if there's a fee. There's not a fee to get in, right?
Yeah, there's pay for park. You got to pay for a park.
So, but it's going to be cheaper than parking on Clearwater Beach anywhere. Yeah. But if you go into Sand Key Park, you're going to have like a picnic area. There's boat ramps. There's a dog park.
Yeah, dog park, lots of fishing.
And there's beaches.
Yeah,
I mean,
beautiful beaches.
Yeah. So the one thing that you're not going to find there, so it's kind of the opposite of Clearwater Beach, where you have all of these businesses and eateries and all of the things. This is more of like, you know, you're not going to have any restaurants or any kind of amenities like that. It's
but it's just across the bridge, so it's not far.
You would have to drive for food though, or bring a picnic.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Definitely something you got to check out. Pro number 2, and what is that?
Pro number 2, I would say, is affordability.
Clearwater, yes. Affordability, definitely. And what does that mean, affordability? Housing? Is housing affordable?
Yeah, definitely. I would say so compared to a lot of other metropolitan areas.
Especially coastal?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's really amazing is I still feel like it's a best kept secret. I'm like, how come people don't know about this? Like, I really feel that way. So affordability, what does that mean? So I think when I'm thinking of affordability, I'm thinking, okay, you're living really close to the beach and you can still find a home with national average, you know, prices, which, like, how is that? Yeah. Like, how is that? You can't go to Los Angeles and do that. You can't go to Newport and do that. You can't go to New York. You can't go to San Diego. New Jersey, I mean, any of these other places, you're not going to be able to find that. And so it's a really interesting thing. I mean, I still don't know how it is. This is even cooler. If you want to actually live on Clearwater Beach, so where the barrier island is, you can live there for under $1 million. You can buy a single family residence, unattached, like a real home on that beach. Like, you're not going to be beachfront, but you're going to be beachside. You're going to be able to walk right to the beach, like in a block or two, and under $1 million. I mean, I was showing houses there recently this summer, and they were running in the 800,000s. And one of them was a 4-bedroom. So if you want that beach living life, you can have it for under $1 million bucks. So definitely, I think affordability is something that's important to point out.
Absolutely. And one thing that makes affordability the way it is, and below national average, I think for a long time, the access that Tampa Bay has to
resources,
to the resources and everything. So it's definitely something that impacts us, and so that's falls into other pro categories, which is location, but definitely something that makes it affordable is the location.
So maybe we'll just move right into location then.
Yeah, so let's do it.
Location is another pro of the area, and there's a lot of aspects to look at when you think of location here. So we are in the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater Metropolitan. That's what we're called. So we have access to several cities, which is amazing. Because it gives you, access to so many different types of things. Another thing that you can think of is with location is you can be to Orlando in under 2 hours.
Disneyland.
Disney World.
So Disney World, yeah.
Is under 2 hours. You can get across the coast and fulfill your needs of a surf beach at the Atlantic Ocean in 3 hours. And then you can get up north. So we're centrally located like in Florida on the Gulf Coast. And so you can get up north to the Panhandle, and then you can also travel down south and get to Miami or down by the Everglades or down to the Keys. So I think being centrally located in Florida is definitely a pro.
Definitely, absolutely.
Yeah, it's big.
Absolutely. And one of the things I think when I think of location, Clearwater has access to really good shopping, really good mall, easy to get to the airport. You can get to St. Peter's, Clearwater Airport as well, but Tampa Airport, the nicer mall. They've got shopping, Costco.
Super Target. So the accessibility is
and
good.
As a family, when you've got young kids and you've got to do that shopping and stuff on a regular basis, and you want quick and easy access, that's important to some families. And if it is, Clearwater is definitely a location you want to check out.
Yeah, there's easy access to everything. Anything you could want, restaurant, shopping, car dealerships, anything that you need, work.
Definitely one of my favorite spots out of, Pinellas County area because of, the accessibility of everything. And the house prices are awesome. Okay,
so let's move on to the next pro. And so the things to do here, right? We're in a tourist area, so
Well, let's talk about if you're as a resident, Floridian resident. city of Dunedin is a cute little beachside city that has amazing, you know, places to eat and things to do.
Safety Harbor.
Safety Harbor, which is on the
It's right by
bay
Clearwater,
side, which
yeah.
is fantastic. It's a cute little quaint neighborhood and got its bayside and
Really good food.
yeah. And what about the island up there?
Oh, we have the Caladesi Island.
Caladesi Island, which
Yeah.
is fantastic, which is an adventure in itself, and you can do that a couple times a year and feel like you've left the state or the country.
Right, yeah. It's very remote island feeling
And
there.
then if you want to feel like you're on vacation, you go on a pirate ship or you go on a dolphin cruise, a fishing trip. I mean, just a lot of things like that. But I think, you know, things to do, shopping. I mean, the mall's up there, so that's pretty cool. We live in a smaller community on one of the barrier islands. And I think our population is roughly less than 2,000 in our little city, which is small.
It is.
And so we don't have any major shops. We don't have, you know, it's just...
It's local. Everything's local. There's no Taco Bell, no McDonald's, none of that's here. You don't get any of it.
Yeah, so you don't get that stuff. But, you know, Clearwater is different than that. And, you know, it certainly brings a bigger city feel with all that cool stuff to do. It's pretty awesome. And we venture out up there quite a bit. And, you know, it's one of our favorite places.
Yeah. I mean, there's always something to do. I mean, even the mall there, it's called the Countryside Mall. And they have an ice skating rink in the mall, which is like super cool. Like, I don't know, we never had that in Kansas City. So that was something whenever we first came here, I was like, wow, they have ice skating? Like, how bizarre is that?
Right.
But ice skating is really popular here. The ice rinks are popular because of the hockey. Hockey is a very, well, and it's like kids, a lot of kids play hockey here. You know, it's definitely something that is a sport that's popular.
And that's certainly something to tap on real quick is the things to do for kids. You know, that family life is huge here, and you know, we just keep discovering more and more of things, wonderful things to do for our family. All right, moving along. The next one is weather. Now we are going to go over another pro, which is the weather.
So weather, oh my goodness. Okay, I love the weather here. I was born to be an endless summer girl my whole life. I don't know how I was born in December or in the Midwest because I do not like the cold at all. So for the most part, it's sunny. As you know, we're the sunshine state. So lots of sunny days. And if it's not sunny, it'll probably be sunny in a little while.
Right,
it's not like you never get doom and gloom for lots of days, unless there's like a tropical storm or a hurricane. That's when you get your
storm for a few days or a week. But that's worst case, I think.
So I love that we have mild winters, and because of this, I think it's the reason we're the #2 place to retire in all of America, because the weather is amazing here.
Absolutely. And one thing we're going to include down in the description is the links to all the information and the sites that we gathered a lot of the information. And one of them is the high record for Clearwater, which I was really shocked to hear. It's the record highs are like 98 at the very top. So it never got over 100 or more. And I would have thought, yeah, why wouldn't? And you go back to Kansas City and you're like, well, it can't be hotter there than it is here.
But it is all the time.
All the time.
A lot.
Now,
very often.
One thing important that we've discussed before is going inland, weather is different.
Yeah, and I think that's what people probably are talking about is, so Clearwater is a coastal city. It's not inland. It's a coastal city. And even as far as it does go inland, it's not more than probably 10 miles inland, right?
Right.
So you're still getting the coast breezes and stuff like that. So I think your heat's not getting trapped in the middle of the state like it does in like Orlando. The reason why it's so hot there is because you've got coastal breezes from the east and west coast coming and just trapping the heat and humidity right there. And then you're producing those storms all the time. So it's like constantly stormy and humid and hot. And
it does get humid here though.
I mean, it does. It's humid yeah.
And you know, a lot of people say once you've come out here in the heat of the summer, and if you can withstand that, you can Florida is your place.
I mean, some of the things that we've learned are when it's really hot, we try to do everything that we need to do outside in the morning or in the evening. So as Jason mentioned, we live on a barrier island, and so we have access to the beach often, all the time. And so if we want to go to the beach, we go early in the morning or we go in the evenings. And like just right now, I mean, we're sitting in the shade, we're by the beach. I'm sure it was probably close to 90 degrees today, but I'm super comfortable now that we're not in the sun. When we were in the sun, it was a little hot, I will be honest. But I think definitely the weather is a pro to the area. And like I would say from October until May, you're not gonna be complaining about weather. It's really nice here. I mean, it's
like 2 months out of the year, you get where it's just super hot during the middle of the day.
Yeah, and then it's cold in like January. And then February, you can have cold days, but it's less consistent. And in December, like we've had a few Christmases where it got cold, but I mean, it's only for a day or two, and then it's back to like 70 degrees, and you're like, yay!
It does. But once you get used to the heat and the warmth, messing around with the cold at any time is not fun. So, and don't ever get rid of all of your winter clothes, because when it gets cold and you need some pants or something or a jacket. And I think the main difference is during the evenings and nighttime, it drops. That's when the temperature drops, and that's when it gets, there's such a difference between the warm part of the day and the cold part of the night. All right, so let's move on to
something that I think is important to note is the school system here. So obviously I'm not, a professional that can tell you how to find a school or not. But when we were relocating here, that was really, really important to us. Our kids went to a school, and that school, the school district that we were in was one of the highest rated school districts in all of the country. And so we thought it was really important to find a school. And as I've learned, I know a little bit more about like school systems and things like that. And one big difference I think that we have here is the public school system is the Pinellas County school system. So instead of being like Clearwater City school system, it's going to be Pinellas County. Where we were from, it was city school districts, and here it's a county school district. So it's a huge school district, and it's mature. So it's been around a long time, which is a good thing because they know how to, do a lot of things, or at least I think it's a good thing. I think it's a pro. But I think it's really important to start thinking about when you're moving here, if you have kids that are going to be in the schools, to find out what schools are available in that area and what you expect out of a school. Another thing about the school system here is that when you live in Pinellas County, you can go to these, so our kids go to what's called a district application program. They go to a fundamental school. And what that is you have to apply and you have to get accepted. And our school, one of the drawbacks of that is there's no transportation to these schools. And so you're going to have to, figure out transportation for your child, but they're going to get sort of what I think of as a private school education with public school funding. And that's what we that was the route that we went. And our school is a K-8, so that's helpful. And then once they get into one of those fundamental programs, they can go into one of the high school fundamental programs. And, not everybody's going to want that, but there's a lot to offer in the school district. We have lots of really cool programs. And so definitely something to check out.
Okay, so let's move on to the cons. And those are important to consider when you're relocating or thinking about making a move. And we think it's important. When we moved here from Kansas City, there was a lot of this information that we wish we would have had known or had, figured out. But we did do a lot of research, so we did have some of the knowledge. But, in essence, we want to pass that on. And, if you're certainly looking to relocate or, make the move down here, we'd love to help you. And this is one way we can do that. So pick up the phone and give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email at any time if you need help or you decide to make the move, and we will help make that happen for you. So traffic for Clearwater can be a problem. The infrastructure for traffic and cars is not the greatest. Public transportation is not that great. They do have a bus system, they have a trolley system up and down the beach, but essentially with the influx of visitors and vacationers and seasonal retirees that come down for the season, it can get a bit
Congested.
Congested, yes, thank you. So, you know, something you're going to want to be aware of, and once you get used to the patterns, you know, you sort of like, okay, the infrastructure for pedestrians and bicycle traffic is not the greatest.
Yeah.
There's, you know, it's dangerous if you're riding on a bike at some times. So you got to be careful. So it's not, you know, friendly towards that.
There are a lot of cars here. You're going to see lots and lots of cars. People are commuting, traveling. It's happening. It's going all the time. It's bustling, right?
Definitely, yeah. Definitely.
Especially Clearwater.
And your car insurance typically is going to range on the higher side. I know insurance throughout America has gotten high, but specifically here, car insurance has gone up. And, you know,
there's a lot of car accidents here.
There is, yeah.
All right, moving on to con number 2, let's talk about the weather. So we did talk about the weather being a pro, but let's talk about the bad side of the weather. So you know about the hurricanes, and that's a big part of living in Florida. You want to be prepared. You want to know what you need to do, how to, you know.
What your evacuation zone is important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you want to make sure that you have a plan. If you live in a flood zone or you live on the coast like we do, you're going to want to make sure you're prepared for that. Flooding happens. We just recently had a big flood here on the Barrier Island, and it caused a lot of damage to homes, unfortunately. I mean, there are a lot of people ripping out the drywall and, you know, things like that.
All right, so let's go over not necessarily a con, but what you would like to call a consideration, which I think is very well classified. So an important consideration is the healthcare system here. Now, we've got some great hospitals and great healthcare here. Some of the best probably in the country. We've got Baycare, we've got Tampa General, we've got the University Moffitt. One thing that happened to us in 2019 is when we moved out here, we got sick fairly quick, and it might have been COVID, I don't know, or it could have been the flu, because we do have asthma. And we got sick and we didn't have a healthcare provider set up. And it was really difficult to find a doctor. And then to find one that would even take me within the next week or two was impossible. I ended up going to urgent care and I couldn't find a primary. So what I will tell you is whether or not you have healthcare issues or health problems, we would highly recommend getting set up with a primary doctor as soon as you get here, because you can always switch, right? And then if something does happen or you need a specialist, you can get in to see those specialists a little bit quicker once you're in the system. So definitely something we'd recommend. Healthcare is busy out here.
Yeah, I think access to healthcare is available, but if it's available when you need it is what you need to pay attention to. So, you know, just make sure you establish your relationship with your primary care doctors, your pediatrician, your dentist, all of those things. You're going to want to, you know, make sure you take care of that, because
otherwise
it's a busy
it'll
place.
Be like jammed into the New York subway system. I've never been there, but I imagine the healthcare here sometimes felt like being jammed in the subway system. I had no idea where I was, and there was a million people around. I couldn't get anywhere.
And then another thing that you think that is worth mentioning is?
Yes, crime. So, and again, all the information in the websites that we find, where we find this data, we like to provide that because it's important for you to make the best choice for you and your family. We're not here to make that choice, but we're here to help with the information or help with finding that information. And at the end of the day, we think it's important, just like we did, is to make your own choice based on the information.
Yeah.
And the more information you have, we feel the better off you're going to be. And crime here in Clearwater specifically is rated, violent crime is higher than the national average. Now, overall crime in Clearwater is lower than the average. And per the FBI crime statistics, there hadn't been a murder in Clearwater in the last 12 months. So how can we have higher violent crime but lower overall national crime? Part of that, I think, is the influx of people with property theft. There's a lot of property theft, I think, around vacationers sometimes. And we have millions of people, you know, coming in
and out of the county.
Yes. So You know, with property, that seems to be something that is, you know, higher than other areas. But overall, I think we certainly feel like Clearwater is a safe place for us and our family. But again, that's something for you and your family to make the ultimate choice on whether or not it's the right place for you. And, you know, but certainly something to consider. And I will definitely, we'll have that link in the area down in the description as well.
Well, and I think, you know, your level of being comfortable with crime and stuff like that is going to be different for each individual. And so, like, we're just giving you a little heads up to look into that, make sure it's something that you check out before you move, so you know where you're going to be moving is going to be a comfortable place for you, because that's what's important. It needs to be comfortable for you, not for us or anyone else, just you. So we just want to give you that information so you can make the best choice for your move when you move here.
Okay, so that wraps up what I think is a great time talking about Clearwater, one of our favorite cities and a fantastic place to live for single people, families, retirees, just about everybody. There seems to be something for everyone there. And we hope you enjoyed the information, and we hope it was certainly helpful for you and your family as you consider different places here in the Tampa Bay area for your relocation.
So feel free to shoot us a text, send us an email, give us a call whenever you have questions or you are ready to make your move. We're going to be here for you. And until next time, we'll see you around.